Hello and welcome to this first tutorial for users of Microsoft Word 2016 for the Mac. In this first overview tutorial, I'm going to go through the steps to create a simple document to give you an idea of some of the common features and some of the things we'll be expanding on as we work through the later tutorials. And here I'm going to create a letter. It's a letter to customers and it's from a company that sells camping equipment. So I have my new document all ready to go here, as you can see, so let's start typing. And the name of the company is ABC Adventures. I've typed my first line, and to create a new line, simply press the Enter key on the keyboard and type second line of the address, which in this case is 75 Festival Road. Again, press the Enter key, and the town is Niceville. There's my address, and now I'm going to press the Enter key again and one more time to create some space. And the first line of my letter will be the salutation, Dear Customer. Type a comma, and again press the Enter key once to get a new line, and press the Enter key again to ensure there's a blank line between the salutation and my first paragraph. I'll type out the first sentence of my paragraph, and that is, I am delighted to be writing. Now I've made a mistake there, it should be W-R-I, not W-R-O, so all I need to do here is type the backspace key on the keyboard and I can carry on. Editing in Word is a very simple process. I will go through all the different ways you can edit and correct your text in a later tutorial. And I'll carry on typing. So writing to you, to introduce, and again there, another error, so just use the backspace key. Our new range of camping equipment, full stop. So there's my first sentence, and I'm going to carry on typing. You'll notice I'm near the end of the first line, so you might think I need to press the Enter key, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to carry on, and you will see as I do that that Word automatically creates a new line. So as I'm creating a paragraph, I don't need to worry about pressing the Enter key. Word will take care of that for me. So let's carry on then. The table below. In fact, what I'm going to do is, rather than you sit there watching me typing, is I will quickly speed through the rest of this first paragraph. So there's my completed first paragraph. Now I'm going to have a second paragraph, but between the first and second paragraphs, I'd like a table of information, as you can see indicated there in the first paragraph where it refers to products in a table. So what I'm going to do first of all is press the Enter key twice, again to create that blank line between the first paragraph and my next piece of information. And I'm going to type out table here. And I'll press the Enter key twice there to create again the space between what will be my table and the final paragraph in the document. And that paragraph begins, we are open. And again here I'll just go through and complete the paragraph, and you'll come back when that's completed. And there's my completed second paragraph, and finally for this document I'm going to close it out. Again, just press the Enter key twice and type yours. And you'll see there that Word has suggested a completion for that line. It's suggesting yours truly. If I wanted yours truly, I could simply click on that and Word would auto-complete that line, but I'm going to have yours faithfully in there instead. And I'll press the Enter key a few times to create some space for maybe a signature later on if this document is printed. Type out the name of the business owner, and finally the name of the company again at the bottom there. Now there you'll see something that you'll become familiar with the more you use Microsoft Word, and that's that red squiggly line, and you may well have seen the same thing in other programs. And what it means is basically that the program doesn't recognize that word. It's not necessarily a spelling error, it's just a word that isn't recognized. So if I go to that word now, which is the surname of the business owner, and I press the right mouse button, you'll see that the program is suggesting some possible alternatives. None of those are applicable, of course. The word is spelt correctly. So I've got the options here to either ignore all, which means basically whenever Word sees that word, it'll just not bother underlining it, or I can actually add to the dictionary. So in case I type it incorrectly in future, blogs with a double GS will come up as an option to correct the spelling. So just for now, I'm going to ignore all, and we'll come back and look at spelling and grammar correction in much more detail later on. So there is all the text for my document, and the next step is to apply a little bit of formatting to my title and business address at the top of the document. So if I move the mouse pointer and then go to the left of that first line, and as I move the mouse pointer to the left, you'll see I get an inward pointing arrow. When I get that arrow, I'm going to simply click and drag down to select the first 3 lines. And then I'm going to go to my formatting tools here and click on the center button. Come across to the left side of the formatting section and you'll see there are 3 buttons B, I, U, which are basically bold, italic and underline formatting. I'm going to click on the B for bold and also change the text size by clicking the drop down arrow there for the size options and choosing 20. And that makes my business name and business address stand out a little bit more clearly. To deselect the text, all I need to do is move the mouse pointer away from the selection and simply click, and the selection is removed. Next, I want to add that table to my document, and I've got the text here that says table here, so I know where it's supposed to go. Now, first of all, I'm simply going to select that text again, just put the mouse pointer to the left-hand side, click, and here I'll press delete on the keyboard. And I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and you'll see on the left-hand side the table button there. If I click on the drop-down, what I want to do here is create a table that has 4 rows and 3 columns. And so basically all I do is come into that grid and come across 1, 2, 3, and then come down 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll actually see at the top there it says 3 by 4 table, meaning 3 columns and 4 rows. So if I now click, you'll see there the table instantly inserted into the document. So now I can go through and add the text. And my first title for the column is product. I'm going to press the tab key to move to the next column and type in here regular price. And then press the tab key again and type into my final column the title sale price. Again, I'll press the tab key, and the tab key is basically a really good way of just moving between the different cells in the table. You can also use the mouse to simply click into the appropriate cell and start typing. So the first product is going to be deluxe tent. Again, tab across, and the regular price is $3.95. Tab across again, and the sale price is $3.49. Now I'll just go through and complete this table, so you'll come back and the table will be completed. Okay, so there's my text for the table entered, and now I'm going to apply a little bit of formatting. And first of all, I'm going to format the first row of the table so it stands out a little bit differently. So if I click to the left of that first row to select it, and then come up to my table design tab, and that tab will appear whenever you're working on a table. You'll see the shading options here. If I click on the shading drop down, I'm just going to choose this light grey at the top here to apply a slightly different shading. And if I click away, you'll be able to see that applied. I'm going to again select that first row, and this time come to the Home tab and click on the B for bold. And again, just to deselect, click away, and you can see there my completed formatted table. Finally, for the document, I want to add some graphics to add a bit of colour to my letter. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab again, and this time click on Pictures and select Picture from File. And here we have the file browser containing my 2 graphic files. You'll see tent and backpacking. I'm going to click on tent first, and you'll see there I get a preview of the graphic. Simply click Insert. And there's the graphic on the document, but it's not quite as I want it. If I scroll down, you'll see there it's pushed all the text down, and it's even split the first word of the document. You can see the DEA at the top and then the R of deer a bit further down, so that's no good. So what I'm going to do first of all, just check that the picture is still selected. You can see the drag buttons there around the outside, which you can use to resize, as you will see in a moment. And then come to the Picture Format tab, which will appear whenever you select one of the graphics on the document. Click on the button where wrap text appears, and I'm going to select in front of text. When I do that, you'll see the graphic now can be moved anywhere on the document above the text. And first of all, I'm going to resize the graphic. So to do that, I'll put the mouse pointer at the bottom right. You'll see the drag handle there. You get a 2-way arrow. I can then click and drag to make that particular graphic a little bit smaller. Scroll back up to the top of the document. Just use a scroll wheel on the mouse there. And then I can click and drag and position that just to the left of my title, my company name and address. I'm going to click away to deselect, and now I'll add another graphic. So again, go to the Insert tab, click Pictures, choose Picture from File, and again, if I just drag that dialog into view there, you'll see backpacking. If I click on that, we see a preview of the image. Click Insert, Again, it's not immediately quite how I want it, as you may have guessed. So first of all, again, Picture Format tab, click on the Wrap Text drop-down options, and click in front of text. And if I scroll back up to the top of the document, you can see that I can move the graphic in front of the text, but obviously the size is completely wrong. So we'll change that first of all. This time I'll put the mouse pointer at the top right of the document, click and drag this time down to the lower left, release the mouse button, maybe this time I'll come to the bottom left there and drag up like so. And if I scroll up to the top, I can then click and drag in that image to position. This one's a little bit fiddly because it's quite a large size to begin with, but you can see that with a few clicks of the mouse we can get the image looking pretty decent like so. And again, if I just click away, you'll see there we have everything I need in the document. So I have my text, my table and my graphics. So that's pretty much complete. You've seen there are a few of the common features in Microsoft Word 2016 used to create documents, and we'll cover those in much more detail and introduce many more in the tutorials to come. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.